Welcome to the World Climbing Club. Now today is the athlete's day off, but that doesn't mean the action stops. But because it's a day off, things are a little quieter, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you the athlete's journey from the backstage area to the main stage. So, final warm-up area for them. There's fingerboards, slopers, everything set up, and then the athletes will move towards the seats. Of course, there's food available for them, lots of protein bars, tons of Red Bull, of course. Once they're fueled up, they'll come and sit down here on the sofas. And this is an area where our cameras aren't allowed. It's a private time for the athletes where they can compose themselves and prepare and wait to go onto the stage. Here they'll put their shoes on, they'll chalk up, get ready and wait for the clock to tick down. And you can imagine the nerves starting to build at this point as they hear the crowd sounds. They'll get the nod from our volunteers, stand up, and this is the final moment as they prepare for the stage. So they walk from that holding area to this one, and here there's scaffolding, a huge TV screen, and you can imagine that the crowd sounds are starting to build, the atmosphere, and of course the nerves of the athletes. They walk up this ramp towards the arch, which you can see on the live streams, and here they're held as the clock ticks down, their final last moments as they wait. Deep breath, and then they walk into the stadium to that crowd sounds, and you can imagine how they're feeling right now. And yes, I mean, okay, today the arena is empty, but you get the general idea. And from here, well, it's up to the athlete's individual skill, whether they're a boulder, a lead climber, speed, or doing boulder and lead, but this is their moment to perform. So hopefully that's given you some behind the scenes idea of what goes on when our cameras aren't watching. But let's go and find out what our athletes are doing on their rest day. As climbing gets more popular, we're seeing an explosion in media attention, and there are lots of teams working on various documentaries. Because there's 2 days off now, this is the time for the athletes to do some interviews, and there's some pretty big stars about to arrive. So Phil, you guys are working on a documentary here, and I know you can't reveal too much because it's super secret, but you're talking to some of the best athletes in the world. Give us a little teaser. Are we going to be able to see this documentary soon, hopefully?
Yeah, so what we're putting together is essentially a documentary series that would follow multiple athletes up to the Olympic qualifiers. If you've seen shows like Drive to Survive or Breakpoint, these immersive doc series that have become really popular, we always felt there's a huge void in these action sports like climbing or skateboarding to do something similar. So we really want to bring that same level of viewership and immerse audiences in the world of competitive climbing. So that's what we're doing here as we follow different athletes through the World Championship.
And I've been watching you. You have some pretty unique access. You're behind the scenes, you're recording them, reading the routes. I mean, we haven't seen that level of in-depth analysis of the athletes' performances and their personalities. I personally can't wait to see that. It's going to be really exciting for people watching it for the first time and learning about the sport.
Totally. I mean, we've been incredibly fortunate because the IFSC really sees the value in bringing an audience into this world and being with those athletes in those moments that have never been seen before. You know, what goes through an athlete's mind as they're preparing for a competition like this, getting in the zone to be able to compete at this level. And that's what people want to see. People have seen a lot about outdoor climbing and these big films, Free Solo, The Alpinist, but they haven't seen the competitive world. So that's what we're really excited to bring to the mainstream.
Campbell, it's your day off. Why are you in the stadium? What are you doing here today?
I've got a couple of things going on. I guess I've got some interviews I've got to do, and then we've got an athletes forum later that I wanted to attend before I head back to Innsbruck this afternoon. So just kind of squeezing everything in right before I go.
Communication is always important, and the IFSC has arranged an athlete forum. It's a chance for the Athlete Commission, athletes, the IOC and the IFSC to get together to discuss concerns and problem solve. So let's head inside and find out some more. are in the Athletes Forum, and I've got Shauna and Frankie who is joining us. So Shauna, what is this event all about? What are we doing here today?
So we wanted to create a space for the athletes to come, have conversations, ask questions and get the information firsthand. With events happening throughout the year and the way it all works, often we're speaking a lot with the national federations, with coaches, with managers, so we wanted to just come direct to the athletes.
And you are such a busy person. I mean, you're a mum, you're doing all the commentating with me. How do you find space to fit this into your life and schedule, and why is it so important to do this?
Yeah, as you can see, I'm juggling Frankie. I'm trying to spend as much time with her as I can here. So yeah, we're together until it just begins, aren't we? Yes. And then Mummy go to work. But it didn't feel like a challenge to find space for this because it's so important to me as the Athlete Commission President. The athlete voice is something that we need to be hearing as frequently as possible. So yeah, creating a space for athletes, it's a no-brainer. We had to do it, and I can't wait to see how many athletes show, what conversations happen, but you guys aren't allowed in.
No,
Athletes only.
Yeah, we are going to leave and bail, so I'll leave you guys to it. Bye-bye, Frankie. See you later, Shauna.
Frankie, can you say bye-bye? Apple.
We're here at the Athlete Forum and it was just really great to get all the athletes' voices out there and yeah, just having a space so we can all share what we're thinking and listening to everyone was just really important. I guess, yeah, we talked a lot about communication with talking to the Athlete Commission, which I think is also really important. I mean, in general in the world, communication is really important, but especially with athletes, yeah, like I said, getting our voices out there and chatting with everyone is really important.
I think it was great that we had the first IFSC Athlete Forum today, and I came just to, be informed about what's going on within the federation, and I think it's great that there is athlete discussion, and I think today, people had great arguments and came together to discuss very important topics within the sport, and I think that this should set a precedent for more events like this in the future.
Well, I'm here because first I was invited and that was an interesting topic because it's been a struggle for a few years. I know it's been very hard for a lot of people. So I'm very happy to be there, and there has been a lot of people coming in and leaving and also participating. I'm thinking about Alex and Jacob that talked a lot, and that is very interesting to hear about other athletes' opinions about this because it's very important, and I feel like everything I talked with Shauna about it, and they have been trying to do things, and legally it's very hard. And I feel great now knowing that they have been trying, because from the outside world we cannot see it. They've stopped doing BMI and they've not been doing anything. And hearing them saying, okay, we're trying, we tried doing that, we tried that, is giving us hope, I think, because it's very interesting to see that it's a common knowledge that this is a problem and we have to do something about it. So I am glad to be here, and everybody's so involved in this, so very good.
Right, we've left them to it to give them some privacy, and now it's time to show you guys some climbing action, a few of our favourite moments from the last few days. You can watch the full highlights on our previous shows. But today we thought we'd show you a few of our favourite moments, starting with Mikkel Mauem winning his first gold medals at the World Championships. All he needed to do to win was reach the zone on the last boulder. Next up, and we focus on Swiss climber Petra Klingler. She's an incredible athlete, previous boulder champion and ice climbing champion. She will continue to compete and try to get into the Olympics, but this was her final World Champs, and it was an emotional goodbye. Finally, all eyes were on Janja Garnbret and I Mori as they went head-to-head on the lead wall. The crowd got behind both athletes and it created an incredible moment in the lead finals.